Hello friends, today we will see the important property of concrete in its fresh state, that is workability of concrete. What is workability of concrete? Workability of concrete is the property of freshly mixed concrete which determines the ease and homogeneity with which it can be mixed, placed, compacted and finished. The property of fresh concrete, which is indicated by the amount of useful internal work required to fully compact the concrete without bleeding or segregation. It is important for concrete to have adequate workability so that full compaction is achieved. Factors affecting workability are: first is water content or water cement ratio, mix proportion, aggregate grading, nature and type of aggregate particles, shape of aggregate, surface texture of aggregate, porosity of aggregate, weather condition, temperature of the concrete mix, humidity of the environment, wind blowing, and method of concreting operation, that is method of transportation of concrete and method of compaction of concrete. So we will see each factor one by one. First is water content or water cement ratio. More the water cement ratio, more will be the workability of concrete, since by simply adding water, the interparticle lubrication is increased. High water content results in higher fluidity and greater workability, but it is up to certain limit, because increased water content also results in bleeding. Due to excess water, cement slurry will escape through joints of formwork, which is not desirable from the strength point of view of the concrete. Then mixed proportion. It means the mixed proportion of the ingredients. The richer mix, say 1:2, 1:2, is more workable than a lean mix 1:2, 4:8, as in the richer mix, percentage of cement is more. Since less cement means less water, so the paste is stiff, so mix is less workable. If the amount of sand is more, the workability will reduce because sand has more surface area and more contact area, causing more resistance. Then grading of aggregate. As you can see in the picture, there are three types of grading well graded aggregate. In well graded aggregate, the voids are less. Well graded aggregate means representation of all size of aggregate. So voids are minimum in that case. To fill up that voids, less cement paste is required and more cement paste is available for lubrication. Whereas in single sized aggregate, it is also known as uniformly graded aggregate, voids are more. You can see voids are more in case of single sized or uniformly graded aggregate, and in poorly graded aggregate, intermediate size of aggregate is totally absent. In this also we get large number of voids. More cement paste is required to fill up these voids and less cement paste is available for lubrication. So only well-graded aggregate gives better workability. Then the quality and type of aggregate also affect the workability. Using smooth and rounded aggregate increases the workability. Workability reduces if angular, flaky and elongated aggregates are used. Rough surface aggregate reduces workability. Greater size of aggregate means lesser is the surface area. So To cover that less surface area, less cement paste is required, and then extra cement paste is available for workability. So use as far as possible larger size of coarse aggregate. Porous aggregates require more water compared to non-absorbent aggregates for achieving same degree of workability because porous aggregate absorb water from the mix. Other factors are weather condition, temperature. If the temperature is high, evaporation increases, thus reduction in water content and thereby decrease in workability. If wind is moving with greater velocity, the rate of evaporation also increases, which reduces the amount of water and ultimately reduces workability. Then method of concreting operation. If the transportation of concrete is by pump, then high workability is required. For hand compaction, again high workability is required because stiff concrete cannot be effectively compacted by manually. For machine compaction, less workable concrete can be used. If the admixtures are used, especially to improve workability, such as plasticizers and superplasticizers, they increases workability. Use of air entraining agent produces air bubbles which acts as a sort of ball bearings between particles and increases mobility, that means workability, and decreases bleeding and segregation. The use of fine pozzolanic materials also have better lubricating effect and more workability. How to improve the workability of concrete? First, way is to increase water cement ratio. But remember, increase in water cement ratio is harmful for the strength. More is the water cement ratio, lesser is its compressive strength. So this is though simple to increase workability, but it is not advisable to increase water cement ratio. Increase the size of aggregate. This has got also limitations because you cannot use larger size aggregate when the concrete member which is to be casted is thin and there is heavy reinforcement. So this factor, that is increase in size of aggregate, is also not advisable. Use of well-rounded and smooth aggregate instead of irregular shape. The problem with well-rounded and smooth aggregate is they have very poor interlocking, so they give less compressive strength. So this parameter is also not desirable. Increase the mixing time. Yes, increase in mixing time will ensure the more homogeneous mixture. Use non-porous and saturated aggregate. If you use saturated aggregate, especially surface SSD condition aggregate, saturated surface dry condition aggregate, they will not absorb water from the mix, concrete mix, and they will not reduce the workability. The porous aggregate reduces and dry aggregate reduces the workability. With addition of air entraining mixtures, so here you can use plasticizers and superplasticizers as admixture to improve workability. Now, what are the different tests on workability? The simple test is slump cone test, compaction factor test, flow test, VB consistometer test, and ball penetration test. All these tests are well explained by videos prepared by NITTR Chandigarh. On YouTube, you can search and you will observe these tests. So this is the slump cone test. This is the compacting factor test. This is flow table test. This is VB consistometer, and this is ball penetration test. So please go to the YouTube and observe this test prepared by NITTTR Chandigarh. The slump cone test. It is a very simple test in which a cone having dimensions diameter 10 centimeter at top, 20 centimeter at bottom and height 30 centimeter. The slump cone Place the slump cone on smooth, flat and non-absorbent surface. Mix the dry ingredients of concrete thoroughly till a uniform color is obtained. Then add the required quantity of water in it. Place the mixed concrete in the mold to about one-fourth of its height. Compact concrete 25 times with the help of tamping rod uniformly all over the area. Place the mixed concrete in the mold to about half of its height and compact it again. Similarly, place the concrete up to its three-fourth height and then again compact it this layer by 25 blows. Similarly, fill the remaining one-fourth height of the mold. Strike off the top surface of mold with a trowel so that the mold is filled to the top and leveled. Remove the mold immediately, ensuring the movement in vertical direction. When the settlement of concrete stops, measure the subsidence of the concrete in millimeters, which is the required slump of concrete. So you can see the slump cone in this photograph. This is a very simple test, can be performed on site also. This is the slump. After removing of the slump cone, the fall of the concrete from top is known as slump. So when the concrete is dry, you will get zero slump. If it is wet, you will get collapsed. Now this table gives you recommended values in millimeter maximum as well as minimum for different type of conditions. For example, for pavement, minimum slump is 25 mm and maximum is 50 mm. Likewise, you can have for column minimum slump is 75 mm, maximum is 125 mm. So depending upon the type of conditions, these are the recommended values of slump. These are the limitations of slump test. It is not suitable for aggregate having size greater than 40 mm, not suitable for concrete of dry mix because here we get zero slump, not suitable for very wet concrete because here we get collapse, not reliable because slump may be of any shape. Then another test is compaction factor test. According to this test, the workability may be defined as the amount of applied work required to compact the concrete to its maximum density. This method is adopted for determining the workability of concrete mix in laboratories. It gives fairly good results for concrete of low workability. This is the apparatus you can see of compaction factor test. In this, prepare a concrete mix. Fill the freshly prepared concrete with the help of trowel in the top upper hopper. Open the trap of the upper hopper so that concrete fall in lower hopper. After all concrete falls from upper hopper to lower one, this one, Then open the trap of lower hopper. This one. Let the concrete falls on the cylinder. This is the cylinder. Take the weight of the cylinder in which concrete had filled. Let this weight be the weight of partially compacted concrete W1. So, weight of partially compacted concrete is say W1. Empty the cylinder and clean it. Fill concrete in cylinder in 3 layers with 25 blows for each layer using 20, using tamping rod up to the top of cylinder and scrap excess concrete above so that it will be leveled. Find the weight of the cylinder in which concrete is filled. Let this weight be weight of fully compacted concrete W2. So weight of fully compacted concrete is say W2. Then find the percentage of this means W1 upon W2 into 100. This is the compacting factor. The advantages of this compaction factor test, it is suitable for testing workability in laboratories. It is suitable for concrete of low workability, suitable to detect the variation in workability over a wide range. Its results are more precise and sensitive. This is the comparison of slump cone test and compacting factor test. For example, if the concrete is stiff, the slump may be between 0 to 25 and compacting factor is 0.75. If the workability is stiff plastic, then slump in is 25 to 50 and compacting factor is 0.85. Then the frequent questions asked in theory examination of concrete technology subject: what is workability of concrete? What are the factors affecting workability of concrete? Explain each in brief. How grading of aggregate affects the workability of concrete? What are the tests to determine workability of concrete? Explain slump cone test of workability of concrete. Explain compacting factor test of workability of concrete. For these two questions, I will request you to go to YouTube channel of NITTR Chandigarh, in which these tests are explained in videos. How will you improve workability of concrete? Thank you.